Before they even stepped onto an NFL field, these college football players were treated like royalty. Their names echoed through stadiums, their highlights dominated SportsCenter, and NFL scouts swore they were the next big thing. Fans wore their jerseys before draft day. Analysts labeled them can't-miss prospects. Whether it was injuries, bad attitudes, poor work ethic, or simply being overhyped, these players crashed and burned. They didn't just miss expectations, they obliterated them in the worst way possible. This is not just about bad games or disappointing seasons. This is about legacies built on hope and destroyed by harsh reality. These are the stories that prove hype is dangerous. And today, we're diving into the top 5 most hyped college football players who flopped in the NFL. Brace yourself, because these names are going to shock you. 5. Chase Young. At Ohio State, Chase Young was a monster. Quick off the edge, dominant, and impossible to block, he earned comparisons to NFL legends. Drafted 2nd overall in 2020, he started strong, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. But after that, everything stalled. He struggled with injuries, production dipped, and his presence on the field faded. Some say his torn ACL in 2021 changed everything. Others say the motor wasn't there to begin with. He was traded to the 49ers in 2023, but even in a better system, he didn't stand out. Chase Young isn't a complete bust, but he's the kind that makes fans ask, was it bad luck, or was he never as good as we thought? 4. Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson was a human wrecking ball at Alabama. A punishing runner with size, speed, and explosiveness, he looked like he was born to dominate the NFL. In college, he was unstoppable, breaking tackles, bulldozing defenders, and scoring at will. The Cleveland Browns thought they had their franchise running back when they selected him 3rd overall in 2012. His rookie year wasn't terrible. He racked up 11 touchdowns. But a closer look revealed problems. He lacked vision, his cuts were slow, and his yards per carry were alarmingly low. Despite this, the Indianapolis Colts traded a first-round pick to get him in 2013. That trade became infamous. Richardson's struggles intensified. He couldn't find holes, couldn't shake defenders, and looked lost on the field. Within just a few years, he was completely out of the NFL. All that promise, all that potential, vanished. Richardson became the textbook example of how college dominance doesn't always translate to the pros. 3. JaMarcus Russell. JaMarcus Russell didn't just have hype. He had legend status. Coming out of LSU, he was seen as the most physically gifted quarterback in years. With a rocket arm and a towering frame, his performance in the 2007 Sugar Bowl skyrocketed his draft stock. The Oakland Raiders were so convinced of his greatness, they selected him 1st overall in the 2007 draft and handed him a jaw-dropping $61 million contract. But from the start, Russell was a disaster. He held out during training camp, came in overweight, and was never mentally prepared for the NFL grind. His mechanics were poor, his leadership non-existent, and his work ethic was publicly questioned. One infamous story claimed that coaches gave him blank game film to watch, and he came back saying he had studied it. On the field, his performance was even worse. He threw just 18 touchdowns to 23 interceptions in 3 seasons and was released by the Raiders in 2010. Russell never played another NFL snap. Despite all the physical tools, he lacked the discipline, hunger, and mindset to survive. He remains one of the biggest flops in NFL history. 2. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson skyrocketed up draft boards after a flashy 2020 season at BYU and a jaw-dropping pro day. The Jets picked him 2nd overall in 2021, expecting a Mahomes-style breakout. What they got was anything but. Wilson struggled with basic reads, missed open receivers, and lacked pocket presence. But what truly hurt him was his attitude. After a brutal loss in 2022, he denied any blame, losing the locker room and his starting job. Inconsistent play and poor leadership plagued his time with the Jets. Despite several chances to redeem himself, he never delivered. For a player meant to save a franchise, he became one more chapter in its misery. 1. Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was a football phenomenon. As a freshman at Texas A&M, he lit up the SEC and won the Heisman Trophy. His style was unorthodox, electric, and chaotic, in the best way possible. Fans loved him, media adored him, and his swagger earned him the nickname Johnny Football. The Cleveland Browns selected him 22nd overall in the 2014 NFL Draft, hoping he would finally bring energy and success to a cursed franchise. But what followed was pure chaos. Manziel partied constantly, clashed with coaches, ignored film study, and treated preparation like a joke. His on-field performance was erratic, and his off-field antics were even worse. From clubbing the night before games to missing team meetings, he displayed a complete lack of maturity. After just 2 seasons and multiple suspensions, Manziel was out of the league. He attempted several comebacks in Canada and other leagues, but his NFL career was over before it ever truly began. Johnny Manziel had enough talent to change a franchise, but he never took the game seriously enough to succeed. He remains one of the greatest wastes of potential in modern sports. There are a few more names that deserve a mention. Vince Young was a college hero who won one of the greatest games in college football history, the 2006 Rose Bowl, but couldn't stay consistent in the NFL. Reggie Bush had a solid career, but he was once thought to be the next Barry Sanders, and that never materialized. Each of these players had sky-high expectations and moments of brilliance, but for one reason or another, they never became the legends they were supposed to be. The NFL is a brutal arena. It doesn't care about college trophies, hype videos, or headlines. It cares about consistency, work ethic, durability, and maturity. These 5 players, and many more, walked into the league with the world expecting greatness. But they left behind a trail of disappointment, wasted talent, and what-ifs. And that sometimes the biggest hype can lead to the biggest fall. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap that bell icon, because there are plenty more stories the NFL hopes you forget, but we're here to bring them back into the spotlight.